he's said multiple times this season, I like it here. I want to stay here. It's, but he can't play his full hand because you got to show me the money also.
All right, gentlemen. Keith Smith, NBA on Twitter, shared that Grayson Allen is now eligible to sign a veteran extension worth up to $75 million over 4 years. Allen had a 6-month extension restriction following his trade from the Bucks to the Suns, but that is now lifted. What do you guys think the Suns should do here? Because he could garner more in the offseason.
Yes. So this 4-year, $75 million is only for if he agrees to an in-season extension between now and the end of the calendar year, which I think is June 30th or whatever it is. I think if you're the Suns, you need to be pushing hard for an extension now and trying to get this taken care of before unrestricted free agency. At that point, because the Suns have his bird rights, they will be able to offer him more than other teams, which is good. But if you can get him at 4 years, 75 mil, I think that's a fair deal for both sides. Like that's about just under $19 million annually, which is a great payday for Grayson. It is going to come with a substantial amount of luxury tax payments. Bobby Marks was saying if he agreed to like a $16 million salary, that would be about 65 to 70 million in luxury tax penalties for next year. So if you're looking at 19, that's probably closer to 75, 80 million in luxury tax. But everything that Matt Ishbia has said has been, we want to keep him. We want to keep Royce O'Neal. We don't care about the luxury tax. We are here to win. Success or money follows success, not the other way around. So if he's been talking this big game and volunteering this information, like he has to back it up now. And I think Grayson is in the middle of a career year that warrants that type of money because he's leading the league in 3-point percentage by 2 full percentage points. He is second in effective field goal percentage behind a center who's shooting like 71% from the floor. And he is one of 3 players, qualified players in NBA history to shoot 47% on threes at that volume, joining Joe Harris and Kyle Korver. Like what he's doing this season is remarkable. He's a great fit. And I think for Grayson, the Suns are a great fit for him too, because he's not going to get that type of spacing or those wide open looks playing along guys that aren't this big 3. So I think if you're the Suns, you try to emphasize, you've been good for us. We've been great for you. We want you here. Let's just get this out of the way now if we can.
Clarify something.
Sure.
2 things, as a matter of fact. You don't have to offer him the full 475 right now.
No, it's
just
up
up
to 4.
to.
Up to.
Yeah.
So you can offer, I mean, not that my guess is he'd want the full if he's going to sign it, but also you mentioned you don't want to get to restricted free agency, but you own the bird rights, which
Unrestricted,
means unrestricted. Yeah. Which means since it's not restricted, you can't match an offer unless he comes to you and says, hey, this team offered me this. Are you willing to go there or above?
But I don't think he would take an offer without doing that. I think he's said multiple times this season, I like it here. I want to stay here. It's, but he can't play his full hand because you got to show me the money also.
Do you guys know when that exact deadline would
30th.
be then?
30th.
For
June
the
30th.
in-season one? I think it's June 30th.
June 30th?
24 hours before free agency opens.
Yeah.
So I go to him right now and I offer it.
Yeah.
I just say 4 years, 75 million. It's there. You can think about it. It's there through,
right
when the new year starts, new league year starts. But we want you and we value you that much, and put the ball in his court and let him decide it on his time. But I don't hesitate. It wouldn't surprise me if they've already made that offer to him and his agent.
Yeah, this is interesting because Grayson's been, like you said, Grayson's been really good for the Suns, and the Suns have been good for Grayson. The problem that I think, I don't think everybody worried about Matt Ishbia putting his money where his mouth is. Don't worry about that. That dude's going to pay whatever it costs luxury tax-wise. I would not be shocked if they've already expressed in a desire to do the 475. I think the bigger problem is that I think Grayson Allen has made himself one of the hottest commodities in free agency this year. And I think that the Suns would do backflips if they can get him for 475. I just feel like Grayson, as a businessman, has to. This is the conundrum. This is the decision on Grayson's plate. Do I take 4 years and 75 and guarantee myself some security against injury? Or do I bet on myself having a good playoff, staying healthy, and potentially getting an extra 10 to 15 million on the market?
But doesn't fit and situation matter too? Because look, I'll open the Komodo a little bit and share personally. I made significantly more money in my previous life than before I came here. I came here because I wanted to be a part of this. I wanted to do something I loved, and I wanted to work with people that I was comfortable with. Now, I'm not Grayson Allen, but it also, giving up that money hits a little harder in the real world. So is the difference between 75 over 4 and say 85 over 4, that much to a guy? Even go up to 90. I get it, but at some point, does the fit and the ability to be comfortable in what you're doing play a role?
And the
too?
weather too.
The
I think he's
weather's
probably
nice.
tired of playing in cold
Yeah.
cities.
I think it depends on what Grayson is prioritizing, and we won't know that possibly ever until the deal is agreed upon, because there is a possibility, like, he's in the middle of a career year. He really likes being here. He understands that he's valuable to the Suns and vice versa, and he agrees to a deal now. Or, like Flex is saying, he has confidence in himself playing really well in the playoffs, and whether it's here or from another team, he gets an extra 15 to 20, depending on how he plays. We just don't know what he's prioritizing. But for the Suns, like, yes, you should be offering this now if you haven't already, just to A, make him feel valued, and B, because you look ahead. We talked about this before, but as a team in that second luxury tax apron, you are not replacing what he brings to the table on the open market, because all you're going to have are vet minimums. So if you let him go, if you let Royce O'Neal go, that's
We're
malpractice
screwed.
as an owner. Like that's you are basically saying to your roster, well, we know you guys, no matter what happens in the playoffs this year, we're not willing to pay to build on this season, a season where guys have been in and out of the lineup and you haven't had continuity. We're not going to keep that together. We're going to take the cheaper way out. We're going to try and replace 50 to 75% of what these guys do for vet minimums. And we saw how their vet minimums flamed out this year. You cannot do that. So you have to play Grayson, whether it's before the season ends or after it ends.
That is why. Listen, I think Grayson's going to be a Phoenix Sun next year. I think Matt's going to cut the check.
Yeah.
But I think that what you just said is exactly why he doesn't do the extension. Because at the end of the day, he has the Phoenix Suns in the palm of his hand.
Yeah.
He can say, even if the number were 80, even if Grayson is like, you know what, I'm not trying to go crazy. I'm not trying to go, listen, I want 80. They can't offer him, they can't go to 80. It's only 75.
Right.
So, I mean, if I'm Grayson Allen and I'm his agent, I'm like, dude, there's no way you sign that extension right now. You wait until July 1st, and then you see what other people have, and then you come back to the Suns and you keep it 100. I want 80. I want 85. And you know that the Suns are in a situation where they really can't say no. If they say no, there is no way to replace Grayson now.
Well, how about I say 75 and 5% ownership in UWM when it's
There you go.
leased?
Exactly.
Oh, now you got it.
Okay, 55, maybe not 5.
But
But you know what I mean.
My
Wink
God,
under the
you give me
table.
10 million. Just give me the 5% of the company.
I don't even
How
need a
about that?
contract.
I'll take a vet man and 5%.
You signed a 5-year, $10 million extension. I'm giving you 5% of UWM.
Yeah.
We all cool.